Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. And today I'm asking the question, can an artificial intelligence pick the next president of the United States? Now, before I dive into the technology that I'm about to talk about, I want to preface this like I always do when I'm talking about something political, is that I am not getting political. I don't care who your candidate is, who you are supporting, voting for, or whatever. I purely want to look at the technology here and the analysis that it just did the other night. I don't care if you agree with it or disagree with it or not. Feel free to chime in, but let's talk about the tech. Now, an artificial intelligence analysis of Friday night's Democratic debate picked former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, Pete Buttigieg, as the winner, and the artificial intelligence also said that voters believe he could actually defeat President Trump in the general election. Now, this AI model is known as Polly, and it is basically a market research and predictive tool from a company called Advanced Symbolics, Inc. Now, it analyzed the debate, and it measured a sample of 11,227 New Hampshire voters. That primary is coming up, to find that basically Mayor Pete achieved his goal in the debate of convincing people that he could actually defeat the incumbent in the general election. Now, overall, outside of this debate, basically, Polly still has Senator Bernie Sanders on the Democratic side leading the Democrats in this. This is according to the artificial intelligence, but Mayor Pete is basically gaining in second place, catching up to Bernie Sanders overall in this artificial intelligence. And it's also finding, interestingly enough, that former Vice President, Joe Biden is slipping down, and his chances are diminishing according to this AI. Now, I find this very interesting. And again, I don't care if you agree or disagree with the AI, and here's why. We have seen artificial intelligence at work at some level in both the 2016 and 2018 election season, but in 2020, in the 2020 election, we are going to see this absolutely explode as we start to use predictive analytics more and more aggressively in trying to predict these things. And so the real other question that I've got is, can AI actually upset the traditional methodologies of predicting who could win a presidential election? Now, we know in 2016, a lot of the predictive models seemed way off. Polling showed one thing, and obviously that was a major surprise. Some would say an upset in the 2016 election for President Trump, then candidate Trump, actually winning the general election against former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. But some methodologies in 2016, as developed by humans, seem to predict this model a little better than others. So there is a professor named Alan Lichtman. I believe he is a PhD in political science. Don't quote me on that. He has a methodology called 13 Keys to the White House, and he was one of the few people that actually predicted that President Trump, then candidate Trump, would actually win the general election, and he stuck by that and doubled down even as scandals at the end of that election started to erupt. Now, we also have other predictors like Nate Silver of 538 that basically came out after the election and said, well, here's why our model was generally correct statistically, but obviously incorrectly predicted the winner of that. And so we're going to see a lot more artificial intelligence, basically being put into this. And I'm wondering if we are going to see an artificial intelligence as programmed intuitively to look at all of the different factors that you can possibly think of for a presidential election. Will it actually pick the next president? Will it actually correctly predict that President Trump will be reelected or President Trump will be upset? And again, I'm not getting political here, but as we get into the politics season, whoever you support, I'm wondering how the results of an artificial intelligence, as it's made publicly known, could sway the electorate. Well, the artificial intelligence takes 10,000 different things into factor and says that X candidate or incumbent is going to win, therefore will it just make sense that I vote for him or her? These are the things that we have to talk about, not to mention the fact that as you program and develop an artificial intelligence to look at different ways and methodologies, what happens if the programmers are missing a serious gap that the artificial intelligence doesn't pick up? When we are talking about, let's say, the emotional support that the electorate has for one candidate or the other, things like that. It's going to be a very interesting election season, not just on the malfeasance side and the cybersecurity side and the misinformation, fake news, disinformation, kind of thing, but now we are literally literally going to be looking at every basically blink, every breath, every statement, word, intonation that these candidates and incumbent go through, fed into computers to basically predict if they succeeded or not, based on the reactions of other people that are watching this, that the AI is judging. It's a fascinating thing, I really think. The question's going to be, how accurate is it going to be? We're going to see at the end of 2020, and I'd be curious to see if it improves itself in 2022, in the midterm, and 2024 at the next presidential election about 4 or 5 years from now. So we're going to see what happens there. I think it's very fascinating, but expect more AI results for the next 6 to 8 months. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well, where hopefully their AI selects my channel for you to watch. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.